Hello and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World Daily with me, John Jordan. So, NBA Top Shot has just put out a update for June, and there's one particular thing I want to look at. I'm not particularly interested in what they're doing in this project. As we all know, it's a sort of a very successful NFT collection project. There is a game supposedly coming out, a mobile game, but it seems to be very much in the background at the moment. But there were some interesting kind of retention figures or engagement figures, I should say, and certainly coming from the mobile game space, free-to-play mobile games are very much focused around things like retention and obviously monetization. And I thought it'd be interesting to have a look at this. And let's remember, this is a collectible project. So with NBA Top Shot, you are collecting these video clips of basketball players in the NBA doing certain things. And each clip has a certain kind of scarcity and a different sort of rarity model, and people are kind of trying to collect them because they're valuable. They can sell them, and also they're sort of building collections. And there's sort of meta around building those sort of various sort of collections. This is from Dapper Labs, people behind it, and you can see here what they've done here is they've looked at new collectors who acquired more than two packs, I guess that is, or two or more packs, and two or more moments in the marketplace within their first 2 weeks. So this is someone coming into the game or the project new, and how many of them are basically hitting this kind of fairly, I don't know. I guess it's sort of to some degree a medium level of engagement. I guess it's interesting stuff here because the packs are quite hard to get at the moment. You have to be sort of engaged in order to even be available to get the packs. But buying two moments. So some of the moments, obviously some of them are tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some of them are like $5 or $2. So basically, it's basically a certain level of engagement. I guess what's interesting is not so much what this level of engagement is, if we think that's high or low, but we can see how it's changed. So we can kind of see when the kind of NBA Top Shot had a very big impact, sort of January, February, kind of March. That was when the big kind of bubble was happening. All the valuations were going through the roof. The thing was almost valued at $2 billion market cap. Now it's just under 700 million. So it's come down, it's kind of lost 60-70% of its value. Is that right, maths? Yeah, something like that, 60%. We can see here from a sort of nadir, from a low point here at the end of May. And I guess as Dapper Labs sort of rolls out different mechanics, and particularly they've added this mechanic now where you have a sort of a kind of I can't remember exactly what they call it, but like a kind of a overall score level, kind of a ranking level, which is kind of to do with how much you're kind of buying and how much you're holding, sort of stuff. We can see here quite a big jump. So 70, almost 18% here in the end of June, compared to like 5%. It's only 5 weeks ago. Yeah. So we can kind of see that's interesting, and I guess if you're building these sort of applications, you want to be making sure you're putting in structures that are encouraging people to do things. Like new people, what are they doing? Are they obviously a whole percentage of people are coming in and going, I don't really understand this, and never playing it again. But you obviously, the people, once you've bought like two packs and two moments, then probably quite a high percentage of these people are becoming engaged and starting to kind of collect. This is more interesting. I don't know why it's so small. So this is the engagement per collector. So this is on an average daily sessions per user and monthly sessions per user. And this is what really caught my attention, actually, because this is sort of seems to me. I mean, insane is the wrong word because it's clearly not insane, but it's quite staggering, really. So we can see here that actually the project, easy to forget, launched kind of in the summer of 2020. So a year ago now it launched, and nothing really happened, as we can kind of get an idea from, really until January this year. So there was, this was when the sort of the hardcore basketball people or the hardcore blockchain people were kind of getting involved. I sort of dabbled in this area. I'm not really, certainly not a hardcore basketball person, but you can see here that on a daily session, people were logging in, 2 or 3 times. Remember, this is at the moment, this is mainly a web browser app. So it's not an app, it's a project. So it is available on Samsung phones. So there is a proper native app on Samsung's Galaxy store, because Galaxy are an investor in Dapper Labs, I think. But most of the people are operating this through a browser. So obviously, it could be a web browser, it could be a mobile browser, but it's a browser rather than an app. Obviously, when we have native apps, we see much higher engagement because people are always on their phone. It's kind of easier to do that on an app rather than go through a browser. But what's interesting is we can kind of see at the start of this year, we go from 3 to 5, drops off a little bit, and then it's heading up again. So we have this sort of bubble area here where everyone's sort of aping in, and fortunes are sort of made and lost, a typical sort of bubble mechanic as a big audience comes in. But then there's people who really get this and really understand it and really like basketball, I'm guessing. So as this sort of the kind of easily kind of a lost, or the people who kind of easily ape in and then just like move on to the next thing, as that sort of that kind of audience leaves the application, we can start to see that sort of the hardcore people are really now doing this, getting on for 10, going in 10 times a day. And there's not really a lot of great retention mechanics in there. There's not really, as far as I can see, sort of in-app notifications, because it's not an app. So you're not sort of getting kind of notifications that something's going on. There's not really a very strong, like, I don't think, kind of building out wish lists or this thing you want has gone on sale at a lower price. It doesn't really have these very sophisticated sort of things that we might have with stock apps. This stock has hit your kind of alert price. Don't really have that. But even so, people are coming in. This is an average, remember. So the average person is coming in like 10 times a day to check what's going on. I mean, that's more than like getting up, lunchtime and after work. This is quite strong behaviour. And obviously, this is average. So some people will be doing it like once or twice a day, and some people will be doing it 100 times a day. It sort of depends how the normal curve, if it's a normal curve, how that distribution curve works. And here we have the monthly one, which is obviously sort of looking at the same data, so it's sort of the same trends. But now we're having people 300 sessions a month. So it is kind of interesting. And what's interesting, I guess, for me is this is a very, in terms of a game product, this is a very sort of low engagement product. There's not, all you're doing is buying and selling these moments. Obviously, when there's pack sales, people are in there to kind of order the packs. But in general, this is very much kind of low engagement. We would assume it in the game side to be a low engagement product. There's not a lot going on. You're just coming in. If you've got your collection, you're not really looking at it. I shouldn't think, but you're kind of driven by the buying opportunity, buying and selling, I guess. But even that is enough for people to be really coming in a lot. If you had a game that people were coming in and playing 10 sessions a day, I think you'd be pretty happy. And obviously, because you have value locked in the system, it's not like a hyper casual game where you come in and play it 10 times a day for 2 days and then get something else. This is something you got value in the system. You're coming in 10 times a day. Maybe that's the value. People are coming in and checking how much they got in their wallet, sort of thing. So it is interesting. I think it does kind of show that even these very light kind of collection mechanics with this value built in, which we get with blockchain, can be very, very engaging. So I think that was kind of something worth highlighting. And I guess over time we'll start to see these sort of figures coming from things like blockchain games. I'd love to see this is happening with something like Axie. I mean, Axie Infinity is a sort of different game that you have, because the other thing with NBA Top Shot is you have very short sessions, probably people coming in very quickly, checking something, coming back out again. They're not hanging around there for playing a game for an hour, whereas in Axie you might have a lot fewer daily sessions, but people are in there for maybe a couple of hours playing. So we'll wait and see. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. This is Blockchain Gaming World, dipping into the world of blockchain projects, games, that sort of thing, seeing what's going on there. So please subscribe to the channel. But thanks for watching, and see you next time.